There was a time not so long ago when shopping in America was a rewarding experience. You didn't park in a giant lot or get lost under harsh fluorescent lights. You walked down your local main street, maybe with your mom, and a few dollars in your pocket, past familiar storefronts and familiar faces. Before the rise of superstores, Main Street was the bustling center of the community. Recollection Road is proud to partner with LEGACYBOX. If you've considered preserving your family's memories, then watch until the end of this video to see how LEGACYBOX can help you do it. From the 1940s through the early 1970s, every small town and city had its own version of Main Street. It was more than just a place to shop. It was a place to connect. You'd stop at the butcher, who already knew how thick you liked your cuts of beef. You'd pick up socks at the Five and Dime, chat with the shop owner, maybe wave to your teacher walking by. It wasn't about speed or savings. It was about relationships, routine, and a sense of place. These stores were often family-owned, passed down through generations, and their kids often helped out with the family business, working after school and weekends. Owners were kind, extending credit to neighbors who were going through a tough time. It was a system built on trust, and it worked really well. But as the decades rolled on, things started to change, and the shops along Main Street started to be left behind. In the 1960s and 70s, a new kind of store began to appear. They were large buildings on the edge of town, with giant signs and even bigger parking lots. These were extensions of the popular Five and Dime stores that started downtown, but now they were offering lower prices, a much wider selection, and pretty much everything you needed in one place. These types of stores grew fast, and people took notice. No more running to 5 different shops. No more waiting in line at the counter. Just one stop for all your hardware, clothing, and toy needs. It was convenient and cheap, and for many families, especially those on tight budgets, it was hard to resist. But long before these giants took over the outskirts, some of these familiar chain stores had already made their homes on Main Street. Woolworths, JCPenney, Sears, these weren't just big names, they were part of the community. They occupied big brick buildings downtown, just like the local shops. At Woolworths, you might stop for sewing supplies and stay for a grilled cheese and a milkshake at the lunch counter. JCPenney offered shirts and shoes in narrow aisles with creaky wooden floors. Even Sears had catalog pickup centers where you'd order a bike or a new pair of boots and chat with a neighbor while you waited. These chains blended in. They hired locals, supported parades and school functions, and were just as much a part of Main Street life as the drugstore or the barbershop. But eventually, even those established stores saw the appeal of the bigger is better business model. They followed the flow of traffic to shopping malls and sprawling retail centers, where land was cheap and parking was free. They built bigger, brighter, and more uniform stores that looked the same whether you were in Ohio or Oregon. And when they left, Main Street began to feel different. Without anchor stores and daily foot traffic, the smaller shops struggled. One by one, they closed. Some owners retired. Others just couldn't compete. Empty windows replaced colorful displays. What was once a lively stretch of town became quiet and nearly forgotten. This wasn't just an economic shift, it was a cultural one. Main Street had always been a social hub of the community. It was where you bumped into old friends and made new ones, where kids rode their bikes, and every store had a bell on the door that jingled when you walked in. Superstores changed all that. Yes, they offered unbeatable prices and unmatched convenience, but they didn't stop to take the time to get to know you. They didn't ask how your father was doing, or give your child a free peppermint for just coming in. The rise of big box stores brought gains in efficiency, but it also came with a loss of that personal touch. Officially, the very first so-called superstore was opened by Walmart in the 1980s, and it was the first to combine groceries and general merchandise. Shortly after Walmart did it, several other discount stores like Kmart, Target, and Woolworth also began developing similar large-format superstores. But quickly, many of the familiar names that had been going strong for close to a century, names like Sears, JCPenney, and Woolworth, learned they couldn't keep up. Big box stores grew with aggressive pricing and more efficient supply chains, and then came Amazon.com. These once mighty retail chains really struggled to adapt, much like those familiar stores along Main Street. One by one, they too began to close, until eventually, all of them were gone. By the early 2000s, the retail experience had moved completely away from service and tradition in favor of speed and scale. Today, some towns are working hard to bring back what was lost. They're restoring old storefronts, encouraging small businesses, and reminding people what it feels like to be known, not just as a customer, but as a neighbor. Because while the world has changed, the memory of Main Street still lives on. Life before superstores was slower, simpler, and maybe even a little sweeter. Recollection Road loves to recommend LEGACYBOX because we both believe in preserving the past. If you have a cluttered closet with cherished home videos and photos that rarely see the light of day, then you need to visit LEGACYBOX.com/recollection. These irreplaceable heirlooms are rapidly fading away, and they deserve to be digitized and shared with family and friends. And right now, LEGACYBOX is offering you $9 tape transfers. The process is simple. Send in your LEGACYBOX filled with old VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, and pictures. Their team will professionally digitize everything by hand, right here in the USA. You'll get the originals returned to you, along with organized digital copies. I love LEGACYBOX because it makes all my favorite memories available anytime. I can post them on social media or pull up a slideshow on my TV, which keeps special family moments alive. Visit LEGACYBOX.com/recollection to shop their $9 tape sale. That's LEGACYBOX.com/recollection to unlock this incredible offer. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, and make sure to check the description of this video for links to pick up a t-shirt and sign up for the newsletter. Thank you to our loyal Patreon supporters listed here. Visit patreon.com/recollectionroad to join the club.